The neighborhood of Serenity Pines looked like a Christmas card from the outside. Perfect lawns dusted with fake snow, white lights strung at exactly the HOA-approved height, and not a single inflatable Santa taller than 4 feet, because, God forbid, it might offend the property values. But inside the identical beige townhouses, the real holiday spirit was a spreadsheet of fines, threats, and one woman who had played the perfect compliant resident for 5 long years. Jordan Ellis sat in her home office at 9:47 p.m. on December 21st, 3 days before the annual community gala, reorganizing her HOA ledger 2019 to 2024. The folder contained every ridiculous citation she had paid without a single protest, $74,380 total, itemized down to the penny. Mailbox flagged 2 inches too high, $2.50. Grass measured 0.2 inches over the sacred 2.5-inch limit, $400. Holiday lights installed 48 hours before the HOA's arbitrary December 1st only rule, $750. Each one stamp paid in full, like a receipt for her own slow suffocation. Her phone buzzed. The Serenity Pines HOA group chat lit up with Karen Hargrove's latest decree. Karen, the president who introduced herself at every meeting as just a concerned neighbor who wants what's best for all of us, had posted a new message. After thoughtful discussion among the board, and to preserve the harmonious holiday atmosphere, it would be best if Jordan Ellis does not attend this year's Christmas gala. We must avoid any unnecessary tension that could ruin the evening for everyone. The reactions flooded in instantly. Vice President Bob slapped a thumbs up. Secretary Lisa hit the laughing emoji. Treasurer Mike added the clown face. Even the neighbor couple everyone called Aunt Patrice and Uncle Gordon piled on with hearts. For the community, someone typed, blue bubbles stacked like digital votes of exile. Jordan's heart didn't race. It slowed to a cold, clear rhythm. She had seen this coming the moment she politely questioned the $22,400 special assessment for the gala 3 weeks earlier. Imported caterers, live string quartet, a professional lighting crew to make the park Instagram-worthy. The board had stared at her across the folding table in the community center like she had suggested burning the American flag. Jordan, dear, Karen had cooed in that syrupy voice she reserved for anyone who dared speak up. Some of us contribute more to keeping Serenity Pines the jewel it is. You're single, successful in tech, no children to worry about. Surely you understand the spirit of giving back. Jordan had nodded then, the same way she nodded at every fine. But tonight the mask was off. She minimized the chat and opened the ledger. 5 years of quiet compliance, documented like a court case. Every photo she had taken of Karen's own violations. Bird feeder 2 feet over the limit. RV parked in the driveway for 18 months. Christmas lights in red and green when the covenant clearly stated white only. Every email where the board waived fines for insiders but tripled them for her. Every automatic withdrawal from her account for voluntary community enhancement fees that somehow always covered Karen's little president's discretionary fund. The house was silent except for the hum of her laptop. Outside, snow fell softly on the identical roofs. Jordan lived alone in this townhouse she had bought thinking it would be peaceful. Funny how peace came with a $300 monthly HOA bill and a president who treated the neighborhood like her personal kingdom. Another message pinged. Karen again. Just trying to keep things pleasant this year. Jordan, you understand, right? More thumbs ups. More hearts. Jordan understood perfectly. She was the walking ATM who paid the fines that kept the board's power intact while they broke every rule they enforced. She opened her work email. 3 weeks ago, her boss at Riverlass Collective had offered her the lead on the new Spokane office. Full autonomy. No state income tax. A fresh start in a city with no covenants. No Karens. She had turned it down because family obligations kept her tethered to Serenity Pines. Family. The word almost made her laugh now. The only family here was the one that had just emoji voted her out of the biggest event of the year. Her finger hovered over the copy link button for the ledger folder. One click would create a shareable drive packed with bank statements, photos, screenshots, digital signatures, 5 years of one-sided extortion wrapped in polite HOA language. Not yet. First, she needed clarity. This wasn't rage. This was precision. She pulled up a blank document and started typing her plan. If they wanted her gone from the gala, she would give them exactly what they asked for on her terms. The clock read 10:15 p.m. 72 hours until Christmas Eve. 72 hours to dismantle 5 years of financial entanglement and set boundaries that should have existed the day she moved in. She screenshotted the entire chat, then opened her banking app. The recurring special assessment for the gala, $500 extra per household, automatically scheduled, was still set to pull tomorrow. She left it for now. Instead, she opened a new tab, Spokane Cost of Living, Riverglass Spoken Office, Washington State Regulations on Homeowners Associations. The news from 3 days ago flashed across her screen. Their firm had just landed the Gonzaga University infrastructure contract. They needed someone exactly like her. Her phone lit up with a private message from Karen. Honey, you're not upset, are you? This is just for this year. Too much going on with the gala planning. You know how it is. Jordan knew exactly how it was. She dialed her boss. The call connected on the second ring. Jordan, everything okay? She skipped the pleasantries. That Spokane position still open? A pause. It is, but I thought your HOA situation was keeping you anchored. She glanced at the group chat showing 17 new messages. Turns out I don't have any obligations here after all. When can I start? January 2nd. Done. She hung up and cracked her knuckles. The die was cast. Outside, the snow kept falling. Somewhere across the subdivision, Karen was probably polishing her clipboard and practicing her gala speech about community values. Jordan opened the ledger again and began compiling everything into a formal presentation. Bank records, violation photos, emails proving selective enforcement. The group chat kept pinging. She muted it. For once, they could wait. She named the new folder Independence Day and smiled in the dark. 3 days until Christmas. 3 days to end one life and begin another. The memory slammed into Jordan like the first fine she had ever received. 3 weeks earlier, the board had gathered in the community center to plan the gala. The room smelled like stale coffee and entitlement. Karen set down her printed agenda with theatrical flair. The Serenity Pines Christmas Gala will be our crowning achievement. Imported lights, professional caterers, a string quartet. Total cost $22,400. Split fairly among all households. Jordan had counted heads, 50 homes. Then she did the math out loud. That's roughly $448 per home. But the email said 500. Where's the extra going? Silence dropped like a gavel. Karen's smile never wavered. Jordan, dear, some households contribute more because they can. Your tech salary supports the property values we all enjoy. It's the spirit of the season. Vice President Bob nodded vigorously. Exactly. Family, community, helps community. Jordan had felt the temperature plunge. Lisa examined her manicure. Mike suddenly became fascinated by his coffee. The others kept talking as if she had never spoken, planning their lavish party on the assumption that Jordan would simply pay extra like she always did. I'm not covering the difference, Jordan said quietly. Fork stopped. Even the clock seemed to pause. It's not covering, Karen replied in her sweetest voice. It's participating. Some of us have children, families, real responsibilities. Jordan studied the room, The same people who had fined her $750 for lights 2 days early while Karen's house glowed in a legal red and green. Participating shouldn't mean subsidizing everyone else, she answered. The silence that followed crackled. You're really going to ruin the gala over money? Karen's tone went ice cold. I'm not ruining anything. I'm just refusing to finance it. Bob leaned forward. After everything the board has done for you, waiving that one flag violation last year, Jordan almost laughed. They had waived nothing. She had paid every cent. She left before the vote. No one called after her. But Mike texted an hour later, still good for the extra assessment. Right now, 3 weeks later, they had solved their problem the HOA way. Exclude the wallet. Keep the party. Jordan pulled herself back to the present and opened a new spreadsheet titled Asset Separation Plan. First, the house. Her name was on the mortgage as co-signer for the community center loan the board had forced through last year. That ended now. Next, the automatic payments. She navigated to her bank and studied the scheduled withdrawals. Gala assessment. Monthly dues. Voluntary enhancement fund that somehow always covered Karen's new golf cart. She didn't cancel yet. First, documentation. Her phone buzzed. Her best friend Maya Chun, the only person outside the HOA who knew the truth. You okay? Saw the group chat. They really just emoji voted you out. Jordan explained everything. Maya's voice went sharp. Jordan, they've been financially abusing you for years. This is classic HOA extortion dressed as neighborly love. The word abuse landed heavy, but it fit. $74,380. That was the down payment on a house in Spokane. That was the vacations she never took. The retirement she wasn't building. The life she wasn't living because every extra dollar went to keep Karen's kingdom shining. What do I do? Jordan asked. You know what to do, Maya said. Document, then detonate. I'll send you my cousin Ryan. He's a real estate attorney who eats HOAs for breakfast. By midnight, Jordan had a plan. By 2 a.m., she had drafted the documents. By 3 a.m., she was browsing non-HOA apartments in Spokane. The snow outside kept falling, blanketing the subdivision in white. Across town, Karen was probably researching caterers, secure in the knowledge that Jordan would eventually cave. Not this time. Jordan closed her laptop and headed to bed, but sleep refused to come. Instead, she stared at the ceiling, replaying every fine, every polite email from Karen that began with, "As your HOA president, I must enforce the covenants for everyone's benefit," and ended with a payment link. At 6 a.m., she made coffee and called her boss again to confirm the Spokane start date. Then she opened the ledger one last time and added a new column, reality check. Mom's mortgage help became Karen's discretionary fund. Cole's rent became board members' waived violations. Every entry now had its true translation. The pattern was brutal in its clarity. Money flowed one way in Serenity Pines, from Jordan's account into the HOA's control. Another text from Karen. I don't appreciate the silent treatment. We need to discuss your attitude. Jordan smiled at the screen. Her attitude of paying $74,000 without complaint. Her attitude of saying yes to every rule while they broke them. She drafted the financial obligations clarification document. 6 clean clauses stating every payment was a gift with no future obligation. Effective immediately upon receipt of notice. Cold. Professional. Bulletproof. The group chat had gone quiet, but she could see the read receipts. They were waiting for her to fold. They would wait forever. By noon, she had spoken with Ryan Reed. His voice was calm steel. Gifts are gifts. You own nothing. We'll prepare the formal letter and the evidence package. Make it surgical. Jordan spent the afternoon organizing bank statements, highlighting every selective enforcement. The December sun dipped early, painting the snow pink. Tomorrow would be execution day. Tonight she sat with a glass of wine, the good bottle she had saved for never, and raised it to her reflection. To boundaries, she whispered, and to the gala that's about to go dark. December 22nd arrived crisp and merciless. Jordan woke at 5 a.m., adrenaline singing in her veins. She spread 5 years of evidence across her dining table like a war room. Ryan had sent templates at dawn. The centerpiece document, Serenity Pines Financial Entanglement Revoked, was 6 clauses of beautiful finality. 1. All prior payments were gifts. 2. No ongoing obligations existed. 3. Effective December 24th at 12:01 a.m. All automatic assessments cease. 4. Future requests denied. 5. Decision final. 6. Any harassment forwarded to legal counsel and the state HOA Oversight Board. She attached Appendix A, the spreadsheet with color-coded pie charts. Karen and Bob, 31% of the total. Lisa, 20%. Mike, 15%. The rest to community enhancements that magically improved Karen's backyard. Each line linked to bank records and violation photos. Appendix B was the no-contact clause directing all future communication to the new boundaries email. Appendix C listed every automatic transfer with its cancellation timestamp. She packaged it into an encrypted PDF, created a Google Drive folder set to view only, link expiring in 48 hours, and drafted the cover message in the coldest professional tone she could muster. I respect the board's decision to exclude me from community events. In return, I am establishing clear boundaries reflecting this new dynamic. The attached documentation outlines the immediate cessation of all financial support. This is final. I wish you a peaceful holiday season. She saved it in drafts. Not time yet. She spent the morning closing every shared account she could. Remove herself as authorized payer on the community center loan. Canceled every voluntary enhancement subscription. The car loan equivalent here was the special assessment she had been auto-paying for Karen's golf cart community use. One certified letter to the board treasurer would force them to refinance or surrender the asset. Ryan had the wording perfect. At 2 p.m., her neighbor Mrs. Patterson knocked, 75, sharp as a tack. Jordan, you look different. Lighter. Jordan told her she was moving to Spokane. Mrs. Patterson's eyes twinkled. Good for you. Dear, too many young people stay trapped by other people's rules. Your family, the board, will manage. Jordan almost laughed. They would have to. By evening, she had everything printed, signed, and triple backed up. The group chat stayed eerily silent. They were probably finalizing Gala details, assuming Jordan's wallet would still open on command. She updated the spreadsheet one last time. Total given, $74,380. Total remaining obligations, 0. The math was clean. The execution would be surgical. At 11 p.m., she poured another glass of wine and reviewed the timer. The message would send automatically at 5 p.m. Tomorrow, exactly 24 hours before the gala. 7 hours before the transfers failed. She raised her glass to the window. Merry Christmas to Serenity Pines. May you finally learn what it costs to live without your personal ATM. December 23rd dawned gray and heavy. Jordan woke at 5 a.m. and executed the bank cancellations first. 3 different institutions. 3 confirmations in writing. Then she uploaded the entire Drive folder, set the shareable link, and waited. At 10 a.m., Lisa texted, "Hey, weird glitch. My Nordstrom card for Gala flowers got declined. You still on it?" Jordan didn't reply. Let them figure it out. At 4:45 p.m., she sat at her desk, cursor hovering over the send button. 15 minutes until the timer. The group chat pinged with Karen's photo of the gala table set for 50 minus 1 chair. Caption: can't wait for tomorrow's perfect evening. Jordan watched the clock tick to 5 p.m. Message delivered to 49 recipients. She closed the laptop and turned off her phone. 1 hour later, she turned it back on. The avalanche had begun. Missed calls, 47. Texts, 89. Voicemails, 12. The group chat exploded. Karen, Jordan, what is this nonsense? Bob, is this a joke? Mike, you can't just stop the assessments. That's the Gala funding. Lisa, this is insane. Patrice, we need to talk as a community. The individual messages were pure entitlement. You removed yourself from the enhancement fund. My landlord, wait. The board says the center loan bounced. This is theft. Jordan screenshotted everyone. Evidence of the mask slipping. At 7 p.m., she posted one reply to the group. As stated in the documentation, direct all communication to the boundaries email. This is not negotiable. Then she muted, blocked numbers temporarily, and ordered Chinese takeout while apartment hunting in Spokane. At 11:55 p.m., she logged into her banking apps. In 5 minutes, the automatic transfers would fail. She popped a bottle of champagne she had saved for never. 12:01 a.m. December 24th, Christmas Eve. Notifications started hitting across Serenity Pines. Insufficient funds. Payment declined. Reality. Wrapped in digital alerts. Jordan raised her glass to the dark window. Merry Christmas Eve to the board. May you finally learn what it costs to run your kingdom without my checkbook. The champagne tasted like freedom. Christmas Eve morning brought a blizzard warning and the persistent glow of Jordan's silence phone. She made coffee and settled in to watch the show. The group chat had devolved into pure panic. 12:47 a.m. Karen, the Gala caterer just called. The deposit bounced. 1:15 a.m. Bob, community center loan failed. This is a disaster. 1:33 a.m. Mike, my golf cart payment? What the hell? Jordan. 3:45 a.m. Lisa, this is emotional terrorism. Emotional terrorism. Jordan laughed so hard she nearly spilled her coffee. Coming from the woman who had fined her for a single rogue leaf on the lawn. By 6 a.m., the tactics shifted to guilt. Karen, I haven't slept. The entire neighborhood is stressed. How could you do this 3 days before Christmas? Mike tried brotherhood. Come on. We've always been tight. Don't let one misunderstanding ruin us. Lisa tried reverse psychology. Fine. Ruin the Gala. Shows who you really are. But the masterpiece came from Karen herself, after everything the board has done for you, waiving your flag violation last year. Jordan screenshot it all and added it to the ever-growing evidence folder. Waived? She had paid every single dollar. At 10 a.m., an unknown number rang. Voicemail from a cheap lawyer. MS. Ellis, your neighbors have contacted me about financial disputes. Let's resolve this amicably. Jordan forwarded it to Ryan with a note. Ryan replied in minutes. Intimidation theater. He has no case. Stay silent. The afternoon brought social media smears. Lisa Live posted, when money matters more than community, heartbroken, Christmas ruined. Karen shared it with the caption, some people show their true colors during the holidays. Jordan saved every post. The smear campaign was now public record. At 4 p.m., the tone changed. A new email from Bob. Jordan, I've reviewed your documentation. While I disagree with the method, we need to discuss the community center loan without your support. We may have to cancel the Gala. Is this really what you want? Your neighborhood's tradition destroyed over a text message. Jordan didn't reply. Consequences were consequences. By 5 p.m., Gala setup time. The messages turned desperate. Karen, the caterers want payment now. We don't have it. Please. Jordan, Mike, the string quartet canceled. This is serious. Yes, it was serious. It had always been serious for Jordan. They just never noticed until it affected them. Jordan poured wine and browsed Spokane listings. Her flight was booked for December 26th at 6 a.m. One way. New life waiting. At 8 p.m., she checked the group chat one last time through Maya's screenshots. The last message from Karen. Since Jordan has abandoned the community, we will have to make new traditions. Next Christmas will be different with or without her. Jordan raised her glass. Here's to next Christmas. May you actually have to budget for it. She ran a hot bath and sank into the bubbles. Outside, snow fell heavy and silent. Somewhere across Serenity Pines, the board was holding an emergency ruin gala meeting over whatever catering scraps they could afford. Jordan closed her eyes. For the first time in 5 years, her money was hers. Her future was hers. Freedom sounded like silence and smelled like champagne. Christmas Day arrived at midnight, and Jordan was wide awake, monitoring the aftermath. Maya sent fresh screenshots. The chat had become a digital crime scene. 12:01 a.m. The lights won't turn on. The power company says the community account is overdrawn. 1:15 a.m. My bird feeder fine just got tripled by the state oversight board. How do they even know? The fractures were showing. Neighbors turned on the board. You find me for my gnome, but Karen's RV has been illegal for 2 years. This is why we pay dues. So you can throw galas on our dime. At 2 a.m., Karen emailed, "We'll re-invite you. Bring a +1. Just please reconsider." Jordan deleted it. At 10 a.m., she knew they were gathered at Karen's house. She drove by slowly, not to stop, just to see. 6 cars in the driveway. Through the window, she watched Karen gesturing wildly, Bob with his head in his hands, the others arguing over papers. A community meeting where the main topic was her absence. Her money's absence. Her new burner phone buzzed. Ryan, their lawyer, admitted they have no case. He's advising them to appeal to your better nature. Jordan's better nature had paid $74,380. It was bankrupt. She drove home and found a handwritten note on her door in Karen's perfect cursive. Jordan, we're still here if you want to join us. Community forgives. Please don't let one mistake ruin everything. P.S. The gala lights are still dark. Jordan photographed it and added it to evidence. One mistake, like 5 years of selective enforcement, was a single typo. By 4 p.m., the emails shifted again. The meeting had ended badly. Mike, I'm done begging. You want to be alone? Fine. Lisa, blocking your email. Don't contact me. But buried in the pile was one from Bob. I voted against excluding you. Karen overruled me. I had no idea how much you carried. For what it's worth, you're doing the right thing. Sometimes the only way to save the neighborhood is to stop saving the board. Validation she didn't need, but appreciated. She archived it. At 8 p.m., she did one final check. The last message from Karen. Since Jordan has chosen money over community, we will rebuild without her. Jordan smiled. Rebuild with what budget? She turned off her phone, ran another bath, and soaked in peace while the neighborhood learned what she had known all along. Money might not buy happiness, but its absence sure reveals who the real Karens are. December 26th, 4 a.m. Moving day. Jordan dressed quickly, bags already packed. The townhouse felt lighter, already not quite hers. She did one final walkthrough, saying goodbye to 5 years of quiet endurance. The taxi arrived. As they pulled away, she didn't look back at the HOA sign glowing mockingly under the streetlights. Airport. Terminal B. The driver helped load her bags. Heading somewhere warm, somewhere free, Jordan answered. At the gate, she opened her laptop and checked Maya's screenshots one last time. The evolution was poetry. 3:30 a.m. We literally voted her out with emojis. We're idiots. 4 a.m. Setting up a GoFundMe for the gala shortfall. A GoFundMe. From ruling elite to crowdfunding in 72 hours. The boarding call came. First class. Jordan accepted the pre-flight champagne. Why not? She had earned it. As the plane lifted off, she watched Serenity Pines shrink below. Somewhere down there, Karen was waking up to a dark park, canceled caterers, and an audit notice from the state. Neighbors were learning public transportation routes for the first time. The board was discovering credit checks and eviction timelines. They might learn nothing except resentment, or they might grow. Either way, it was no longer Jordan's problem. Halfway through the flight, she opened a new document. Not a ledger this time, a letter to herself. Dear Jordan, remember this lightness. They will apologize. They will promise change. They will guilt you with community and tradition. Remember the emoji vote. Remember the 7th-place table -1. Remember that love, community love, should never cost $74,380. You're not an ATM. You're not a safety net. You are Jordan Ellis, and you just saved your own life. She saved it in a folder labeled Read when tempted. The captain announced descent into Spokane. Mountains dusted with snow, rivers, possibility. No one here knew her as the HOA wallet. A Riverglass driver waited with a sign, Welcome to Spokane, MS. Ellis. As they drove through her new city, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. Possibility without price tags. Her corporate housing had a welcome basket, champagne, local treats, a card from the team. Can't wait to build something amazing together. She popped the bottle and stood at the window. Mountains in the distance. River below. City lights twinkling. Somewhere 1,100 miles away, Serenity Pines was figuring out how to pay its own bills. Here, Jordan raised her glass to the future. To boundaries, she whispered, and to the community I choose to build, not the one I was forced to bankroll. The champagne was perfect. The view was perfect. The silence was perfect. Freedom had cost $74,380 and one Karen's entire empire. Worth every penny. Worth every angry email. Worth every guilt trip she would never take again. Jordan Ellis was finally home, and she was never going back.